Are you someone who believes that in your path, in like the timeline of your life, there are destiny points? So, for example, you were meant to meet this person then, that it just felt right. It felt like it was already pre-written and you were just living it out, like things like that. Have you?
Yeah, in a way, not so, I guess not in such an obvious way, like you said, destiny. I don't think there's like another point coming for me up in moment of time. I
Mm,
just think that you share moments with other people and you're meant to take something from that experience. Like there's so many people who I've met whilst traveling,
mm,
as an example, who, in a moment of time, I'm outside of my country, they're outside of their country, we're both in a strange place, yet for some reason we've crossed paths, and we've built up a connection over maybe a couple of days, in
mm,
some cases a couple of weeks with some people, and you carry those connections with you, and those connections might last the length of that time you spend together, and other times they might last longer. Like there's people I've met in Japan last year who I still speak to today, or was speaking to today,
that's so
and that's
nice.
that's a year and a half ago. Yet there's people who had a really intense, like 2 3 day, relationship, in a sense of like a connection, not like a
Mm,
romantic relationship, with, and it was so strong, and we were so in that moment together, and I haven't spoken to them since. So
it was just for that moment.
for that moment, yeah. And there's also people who I've gone on to, who I met while I was in South America, who I've gone on to connect with, via Zoom or whatever since, and they're like, I really feel like I was meant to meet you to learn these things that
Mm,
we've spoken about, or whatever, me sharing my experience or them sharing their. So yeah, I think that you do have those points, but I don't think they're set out in such an intentional way. I think you just have to be
mm.
open to those possibilities and see them for what they are. Like I'm not.
And see who you align with,
Yeah, there's
basically.
there's there's a girl who I met in Brazil called Maya. She was amazing. Like she was French. She was from France. She lived in Montreal. We got on so well, like just super well, just connected, like just chatting really well, amazing conversations like every day for like 3 days. And I don't think I've spoken to her since since I saw her.
Really?
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
it's
it's
so wild, isn't
fine,
it?
it's fine,
Yeah,
and it's like,
that's how
but
it goes.
that is life, and it's like, I took something from those conversations, and I'm sure she did as well. And at some point we might cross paths again, or connect, you don't know. And it's just, and again,
Mm,
it's not, that was not even a romantic thing at all. That was just like a really deep friendship that we built up over a few days. And the same with, the Dutch guys that I spent like 10 days with in Colombia. We built up such a strong bond and relationship over those 10 days that now, when we do chat, it's like, oh man, it's like we've known each
mm.
other our whole lives, but we only knew each other for 10 days. So it's
I
like,
love those kinds of
yeah,
friendships.